We are reconvening. It is at 6:26 p.m. Oh, that's right. Patrick's in the bathroom.
Sorry.
Do I need to resend that?
Practice makes
No,
perfect.
you have a phone. Or just go around the corner.
There he is. Sorry, Patrick. I was
Very good.
so jumpy and nervous to do this. I just wanted to get it over with.
At your service.
Okay. Reconvening into council business from open session. According to Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, City Council will reconvene into open session to consider and take action, if any, on matters discussed in executive session. So we discussed, we've interviewed, we've decided that we want to do a second round of interviews. We came to 2 candidates that we have found that we agree on and would like to do a second interview process with them. We have a motion.
I'll motion.
Okay, first, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Ayes have it.
Okay.
I need a time.
Remember, Tim, can you turn the microphone, please?
Yeah, sorry.
Everybody else did the same. It's really hard to hear on YouTube already, so turn it down.
Okay. So it is 6:27, meeting's adjourned.
Okay. Give me a second. I'll put everything together.
That's what I was asking. How's somebody want to take that? It is in that phone.
I cannot. Okay, Rosie, you good?
Welcome to the Gunter City Council meeting. It is Thursday, June 18th. It is at 6:30 p.m. All notices were properly posted. We do have a forum with everyone in attendance. We are going to open up with the invocation and the pledge of allegiance. Being able to join us for
Yeah.
Bow with me, please. Father in heaven, we are indeed thankful for the privilege we have to come before your throne at this time to thank you for the day we have and the blessings of life itself. Father, I pray your guiding hand be upon our leaders here. Bless them and their families. I pray, Father, that you give them the strength, courage, wisdom they need to lead and make difficult decisions. I pray, Father, for community, that you bless it, continue to shine your light upon us, give us prosperity, give us a willing heart to serve and to unite, and pray, Father, that we see each other as human beings and love for each other and the betterment for our community for not only present day, but for our future, Father. Again, thank you so much for your Son, Jesus, his grace and mercy, and it's through his name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We're moving to citizen comments. I have 6 people signed up. Actually, do y'all mind if I do take care of the first couple of agenda items since our bond counsel is here? Y'all mind if we do that and then come back to citizen comments? Everybody? Opposed? And then when we come back there, all of the announcements and stuff, it'd be nice to be able to let them go home. So let's go to number 6, the public hearing. Public comments to your testimony regarding an ordinance accepting and approving the service and assessment plan and assessment rule for the bridges phases 1B, public improvement district. Is there anybody who would like to speak? Oh, I'm going to open it up at 6:33. Is there anybody who would like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, we're going to close it at 6:33. Number 7 would be to discuss, consider, and act upon the ordinance accepting and approving the service assessment plan and assessment rule for the bridges phase 1B. Jason, would you like to come up and just maybe give a quick summary?
Mayor and Council, Jason Hughes, Senior Managing Director, Hilltop Securities. So this particular item will, so this is for the service and assessment plan. This has to do with the next item for your consideration, which is the actual sale of the bonds. So service and assessment plan contains a number of things in it. Did it not?
Keep on.
Okay.
Yeah, might have that.
Speak loud. I'm turning it on.
It did turn on at first, but then yeah, it's, there we go. Okay. And so that service and assessment plan governs the bond issue. It contains the summary of the authorized improvements, the different costs, the assessment role, things of that nature. So also have Luke Ham from P3, who they work as your PID administrator, as well as Taylor Raymond, who is bond counsel with Norton Rose Fulbright. So be happy to answer any questions you may have as it relates to that. And then again, this is tied to the next item, which is agenda item 8 for the bonds.
I'd like to go ahead and open it up for discussion.
I'll second that.
Anybody have anything?
Any questions?
I don't have questions now, but you will on the next item maybe, which is kind of the same.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I'm the first to approve.
Second.
I have a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Move on to number 7, discuss, consider, act upon the ordinance approving and authorizing the issuance, number 8, of the bond issuance, the sale of the assessment and revenue bonds through 2026.
Mayor and Council, Eric handed out a one-page summary of the bond sale, which I'll go through that and then be happy to answer any kind of questions you may have. Starting at the very top, just the bond security overview. So just as a reminder, these bonds are secured solely by the assessments levied within Phase 1B of the Bridges PID, so they are not repayable from or secured by city taxes, utility revenues, or any other taxes. It's solely those assessments levied specifically in Phase 1B. So the other thing I would point out is bond proceeds, assuming your approval and closing of the bonds, that's held by a third-party trustee. Those funds are actually only released once that infrastructure is completed. So it's not like you're handing a check over to a developer, so infrastructure will be completed. In fact, it's scheduled to be completed all within this month. And then that's the point, again, in which they get reimbursed for public infrastructure. So under that development overview, benefited lots, 96 lots here. The home prices, what is assumed is $800,000 per home. And so a build out, what we're projecting is about $76.8 million of build out value for those 96 homes. The PID can only fund public improvement or infrastructure costs. So as you can see there, just over 5.6 million is the public infrastructure cost. If you skip down to the actual bond, what we're asking for your approval tonight is $6,807,000. So that provides the 5.6 million. It also provides for a reserve fund, which is safety in the event that there's non-payment, large-scale non-payment of assessments, as well as all of the costs are funded from the bond proceeds. So again, nothing coming out of the city's general fund or any other funds that's paying for this. It's all self-contained within the bond issue. So 30-year term at a 5.85% rate. And so that rate is fixed. That is subject, obviously, to your approval tonight. And then as you can see there, under tax rate analysis, so about 71 cents. I can tell you that we were at about 73 to 74 cents, but our pricing came in better, i.e. rates lower. And so as you can see there, the overlapping tax stack is roughly $2.87. So with that, I'd certainly be happy to answer any questions you may have or provide more detail as you would like.
How about on the expenses end? Do we get a list of expenses, how the money was spent, what it was on?
Yes, sir. So there's an engineer's opinion of probable cost. And then the other thing is once those improvements are put in, the developer has to prove those up through invoices that are provided to the city.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
As well as they send that request to us. And
Yes, sir.
we also go through the final acceptance of the subdivision when the 2-year bonds for the improvements. So if something goes wrong, the contractor has to come fix it. So normally it happens, they're almost done with this one, but other times they start requesting funds as they're going through and the infrastructure's going in, and they'll send it to us and we'll get with our third-party inspector and make sure that the facilities that they're requesting funding for have actually been put in the ground already.
Thank
So
you.
it's kind of a little bit checks and balance.
Yes, sir.
I don't have anything.
Any questions?
My microphone keeps going off. I feel like Barry Manilow when nobody's listening to me.
Mine is too.
My battery died on mine.
That is.
Okay, you have a
You
motion?
just have to speak louder today.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, Pat the first to approve,
I'll second.
Alan the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is that unanimous?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jason. Okay, so we're gonna go back to citizen comments. And I've got Mark Merrill up first.
Mark Merrill, 71 Mallard Court. I issued a PIR after the last city council meeting and pulled some audio from it that I'm going to play right now. Bear with me.
A major ordeal that we're not hearing. We've got a citizen who wants to speak, and we're not gonna listen
Madam Mayor, point
So-
of order is citizen comments are for comments. I don't think it's for.
My comment is coming,
It's not
sir.
finished, so
I'm not
he has
finished.
his 3 minutes.
I put the audio so that the council could hear
Excuse me.
the address that was made to me. This is my time. I have 3 minutes. So,
I have a point of.
Councilmember Hemby told me to, quote, "sit the fuck down," which I do not find acceptable in a public forum. And further told me basically that anything that I have to say doesn't really matter and he doesn't want to hear it. But the fact is, you were elected unopposed onto a council to represent the people and listen to what they have to say so that you can represent them. So I guess my question is, and this would go to Councilman Stevens' position, that we don't need a decorum ordinance, even though this is the whole reason you're supposed to have a decorum ordinance. And I believe the state actually requires it. So, anytime you want to give an apology for your behavior and your language in a public forum, that'd be great. But other than that, that's what I have on this subject. On the ambulance subject, the city has an opportunity to put into service an ambulance at a very low cost. The county is not going to continue to provide services for us when the developments are done. You've got more than 5,000 houses coming, and
Thank you, Mark.
no,
Your time's up. I'm sorry. Mr. Michael Gallagher. Yeah, this is what's going on.
Michael Gallagher, 1621 Carston Ridge Court. I want to thank you for your kind words, Danny, your prayers. I hope they did not fall on deaf ears. To those I may offend, I apologize. Since only 344 Gunter residents voted, all of those did not vote, or all of those that did not vote may have as well voted for what is on our horizon and really have no right to complain. It is all on those that did not vote. William, you had all my confidence and support when you first ran. I wear flip-flops at the beach. I don't hang out with people that flip-flop. I thought you were a good fit. You're a man, a lawyer, and somewhat of a crybaby. Hear me out. You did not get your way, or you could not get above an issue. By the way, an apology and a handshake goes a long way. I know we're in 2026. I still believe in looking at somebody in the eye, either a handshake or an apology coming out of my mouth. I'm not looking for one. I don't need one from you. Okay, to Miss Patsy, you did post it correctly when you told my wife to get off your train. Yes, it is your train and not Karen and her council's train. You were sitting on that board when the townspeople spoke out at that big meeting at the high school. Oh, I forgot. You seemed really busy on your phone, not paying attention to the business at hand. This is your doing. You own it. Your train. And let's not forget, during your term, we lost our water rights, which is mind-blowing to me. Okay, to the great chicken keyboard commandos, now you're asking us to come together. You are the great divider. Kind of reminds me of the Obama administration. To the new city manager, most of us already know that the city council are picking you to be another Joe Biden. I hope you like being pushed around. I will pray for you, pray for your sanity and wish you well. The ambulance is good for Gunter. It should actually be profitable for the city, not to mention the need for our citizens. A deal showed up, the mayor jumped on it. Let me remind you that this has been on the books since 2023. This was not an impulse buy, but a wise decision and a good deal. Please give this your time, see it through. The monies were already earmarked for that project. So I'm asking all of you, okay, I realize you hate this woman. I don't know what you did. It's not my problem. You guys need to make Gunter good, and those ambulances are a damn good way to bring money in.
Thank you, Michael. Time's up, sorry. Mr. David Lewis.
David A. Lewis, 1096 Fox Lane. Mayor, council, neighbors. I rise tonight for a brief word about civility, not as a matter of manners merely, and certainly not as a way of avoiding hard questions. Civility is a strength that must be built and cultivated. It is the discipline through which a people remain capable of governing themselves even when they disagree. Every city will have disputes. Every serious community will have differences of judgment, temperament, interest, and conviction. That's not a defect of public life. Difference is the wellspring of clever compromise and creative solutions. The question is not on whether we will disagree. The question is on whether our disagreements will be ordered toward the good of the city, or whether they will become tools of suspicion, faction, and decay. There is a proper place for dispute, belongs in open discussion, lawful procedure, in honest argument, in votes taken plainly, and in decisions made where people can see them. Difference, when rightly handled, sharpens judgment. It exposes blind spots and prevents any one person or group from mistaking its own preference for the common good. But I fear a drift beyond mere difference and beyond dialogue. I fear being lost in a world of requited conflict, where rumor replaces evidence, where personality decays into personal warfare, where mistakes are treated with malice, where disagreement decays into distrust. A city can survive a resignation, so a hard meeting, a divided vote. What it cannot long survive is a habit of contempt. Contempt teaches citizens that public service is not worth the cost and to treat neighbors with suspicion. Gunter is not an abstraction. It's a living community made up of families, churches, businesses, volunteers, public servants, and ordinary people trying to hand something decent to those who come after us. I've met many of you and have found each of you likable, worthy of being confidants, friends, and civic partners. True civility makes accountability possible because it keeps the process honest. Ask hard questions without cruelty. Insist on transparency without humiliation. Oppose a decision without degrading the person who made it. Lose a vote without declaring the city lost. So my request is simple. Let disagreement remain inside the bounds of ordered discourse. Let public office be treated as a great honor and trust. Let your speech be firm, not reckless, your criticism direct, not corrosive. Let all of us remember that the purpose of city government is not to win, but to preserve and improve the common life we share. I want to thank each of you for your service to our community, and I am looking forward to the future.
I have Kaya next.
Does she need to tell you she's getting me her minutes?
Yes. Oh,
Lori?
yes. So that Deidre can change the timer.
Just that.
Lori Johnson, 104 Kristen Glen. I'm giving my time to TK.
Good evening. Tiziana Canal, 1701 Bledsoe Road, Gunter, Texas. Two wrongs do not make a right. I am making a formal request to rescind the hasty vote to sell the ambulances. Please add this request to the agenda for the next city council meeting. Let's start with some facts. Regardless how they were purchased, Gunter now owns two ambulances, which are considered assets of the city of Gunter. I've been told that they are in excellent condition with low mileage. The two ambulances cost a total of $155,000. The average cost of an ambulance, even in a used condition, is between $200,000 and $500,000. Fact 2. The contract with Allegiance EMS Services expires this October. Currently, Allegiance EMS Services provides service to to over 100 square miles with just one ambulance. We now own 2. And let's be honest, everyone, there is no guarantee that Allegiance or some other third-party service will agree to continue to be housed out of Gunter. Understandably, they're not exactly happy with us right now. 3, there is no law, statute, or ordinance that places a time limit on a municipality to sell its assets. I encourage every community member to watch the K10 news clip by the Whitesboro Fire Chief as he details the history of starting their EMS program 5 years ago. Because Gunter, right now, is at the same pivotal point when they started. And we, and this is a fact, are a faster growing community than Whitesboro. So I request that you study, learn from them and others, and we should be asking advice so we can move forward in an educated way and with the trust, with the true facts, and all the facts are in front of us, not a hasty decision. I am a mother of a type 1 diabetic. He was diagnosed 1 week before he started 2nd grade. We lived in Prosper, Texas at the time. At that time, Prosper was only a little bit bigger than Gunter. He was the only child with type 1 diabetes in the elementary school. There was only one other student who was in the high school. And at that time, there was no procedures. We developed them with the school district to deal with a type 1 child. So you can understand that this was a very crazy time for us, nerve-wracking time. But what was happening at the same time was that the school district was dealing with budget constraints and were looking for ways to limit their cost. One of their top options was to remove the nurses from the school district and instead start a nurse rotation. I attended every school board meeting. I sat in the front seat. And month after month went by until the district superintendent came to talk to me after the meeting. It was about 6 months later. And he told me that I could go home with peace of mind because they made the hard decision, because there were budget constraints, that they were going to put the health and safety of all of their students first. I am asking you to be courageous, to look past the noise and anger, to be the leaders we need you to be, to take the time needed to evaluate if the sale of the ambulance is the right decision for Gunter's future. Please evaluate if this hasty decision, based only on the circumstances on how the ambulances were purchased, is in the best interest of our community. Again, 2 wrongs do not make a right. I encourage each of you to take the time needed to make the right, informed decision for all of Gunter. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got one more lady mock. Okay, you're not. Citizen comments?
Okay.
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak? Yes.
Renee Marler, 410 Stiff Chapel. First of all, Mark Merrill, council wasn't in session when you walked up to the table, which, as I remember, that was something. No, it doesn't matter. They weren't in session. So this is my time, yours. Council wasn't in session when you walked directly up to the table to berate him. Anything he said, y'all weren't even in session. So that should have just been a conversation that he was having with you as a citizen, period. Second, Tiziana, no matter how it was purchased, so a stolen car is still a stolen car even after you put it in your garage. It's still stolen. Calling something an asset doesn't erase how it was obtained. The question isn't whether the ambulances are assets today. The question is whether the taxpayer money was spent legally, which it wasn't, transparently, also not, and with proper authorization, also not. If not, then the problem remains no matter how it was purchased.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wants to speak before I close citizen comments? Okay, seeing none, we're going to close at 6:56. We move on to Director of Parks and Public Services report. Adam, do you have anything? Where's Adam's hand?
He's outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you are. Were you gonna read this? Or do you want me to? Either way.
We've never read it. I mean, unless you want to read it, I don't want to read it. But we've never read it. We've just, when it gets to that point, when we tell them.
Because we didn't have an image in the back.
Well, no, because she told me after the fact.
She what?
She told me after the fact.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's all right.
We're ready.
That's all right. I'm Sally. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Just a couple updates on parks. Really quick, two things on parks. We did go in and remove all the dead trees. There were some dead trees in the park. Removed all the stakes from trees that didn't need them and staked trees that needed them. Just sort of housekeeping. The field house, concerning the field house, I'm probably bringing that back to y'all. Y'all approved taking it down. It's $1,800 for the asbestos, basically to inspect it for asbestos. They don't have a slot in my budget for that, so I'm probably just bringing it back to y'all. I may go ahead and bring you back the pricing for next year's budget if we decide to do the shop as well. But anyway, it's $1,800, so we can't really take that down until the asbestos is. It's just one of those things. Trust me. I tried to see if there was any way around it, and there was not. We actually go through our own permit processes here. The solid waste front, I am working with Councilman Hemby, Mayor Pro Tem Birdsfield. They've agreed to work with me to review the current trash process, and then we're going to work with a provider to address some of the residents' concerns, return our findings and some recommendations back to this body for just some improvements that I think will be well received by the residents. I'm also working with code enforcement with Jesse. And just to let y'all know, I talked to the Mayor Pro Tem earlier to make contact with the new owners of Preston 1. And we've tried this a couple times because we want to get off to a better footing. We have some issues we're trying to address, and we're also trying to work a solution that I'm hoping they'll be amenable to, that I will also bring back to council if we manage to make contact with them. We've had trouble making contact with them. Broken Bow, contractor was on site. He said if it rains again, he's never doing a project in Gunter again. But he's on site, he'll stay on site, and so the Broken Bow job is underway. So I'm happy about that. I approved some checks today for the Meadows, for the study going on at the Meadows. So I'll have an update or maybe something more substantive next time for council on the Meadows and the drainage issue there. And then the last one is just, I think I sent something to y'all, but on 9th Street and Oak, that connection has been made. And so those streets are not open to the public. I've talked to PD about keeping an eye on them because we don't want people on them. And I am seeking approval. Talked with Eric about it. We're going to seek approval. I am looking for a 3-way stop at that particular intersection. I think it's going to be called for. That is all I have.
Thank you, Adam. Director of Planning and Development, Eric, do you have anything? No? We'll move on to Mayor Alderman report. Does anybody have anything?
Not at the moment.
Okay. We'll move on to your consent agenda. Routine council business, A, C through F. Financial reports, city, Gunter Police Department, previous meeting minutes, all of those kind of RSU and code comments. Motion approved? No?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I'll move the first to approve.
I'll second that.
Wait for the second, all in favor? Any opposed?
Sorry, he actually said it this time.
Sorry, I couldn't
Yeah,
hear. Okay, let's move on past. Number 9, discussing tonight the concrete appointing the following boards for fiscal year 2026-2028 for planning and zoning, places 2, 4, and 6. In the city, of Myron has resigned and issued a resignation, so place 2 will be open as soon as we address this tonight. And then, place 4 is Terry Brazier, place 6, Bradley Smith. And then for Gunter MDD, place 2, 4, and 6, we've got Eric Gunter, and then 4 is vacant, and 6 is Paul Walker.
So they are stepping down?
No, these are two.
Oh.
To reappoint.
Oh,
To reappoint.
One of
Just
one of
Ms.
the
Miley
appointments is
resigned.
staying.
Okay.
So 2 and 2.
Okay. I mean, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we do the first, Pat with the second, all in favor? That's unanimous.
And just as a side note, I think we have a new application in for EDP that Eric recommended, so.
Is that the only vacancy?
Yeah.
Just the one? Okay.
Well, now 2.
No,
One in each. Yeah.
Well,
one PNC.
one
No,
PNC,
I
yes.
mean, for MDD.
Yes, correct, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Number 10, discuss, consider act upon accepting letter of resignation from Alan. We're pulling this from the agenda because he's rescinded that resignation.
I do have, I've had a lot of people that reached out to me and asked me to come back, asked me why I would come back, or actually thanked me for coming back. And I actually wrote this before even making that decision. I'm not sure if you guys want to hear it. Do I have a volunteer that wants to read it? I think what needs to happen is the last time I got up on at that podium, it didn't seem like anybody here was really listening to what I had said because it still went awfully south. So I'd like to sit here, give everybody a copy of what it is so that we can follow along and invite the audience to also do the same thing anytime they want to have citizen comments to go ahead and print it out. Let's follow along with you because too many times yours are just not getting listened to. I see it way too many times up there. And I was actually one that didn't get heard last time. I spoke, but I didn't get heard.
I wrote yours down.
What's that?
I wrote your comments down. I write them all the time. I'm not your citizens, but that's what I want to hear.
Do you guys want to, you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Do you have a volunteer in the audience that wants to?
Sure. I'll just say.
Okay. You want a copy of it?
I have a copy.
How did you get a copy?
I don't know. How did I get a copy of it, Alan? Meeting asked me to return to the role of city council. After stepping back, I took time for a long, quiet reflection. My original decision to step away was not a decision of a leader, and that truth troubled me deeply. In that silence, I thought of the last meeting. I spoke at the last meeting and watched the results unfold exactly as I had warned. The consequences played out in plain sight for everyone to see. We are here to govern this community properly. Yes, this is politics, but it does not have to be bad politics. I challenged 2 of my colleagues to read a book I recommended, a book about leadership and what I believe was a better future. I bought copies for each of them, hand-delivered them, and told them, if you want my help, call me. I received my answer. Sadly, it was the one I expected. No call. Council decisions are often great, sometimes understandable, frequently unpopular, and occasionally very hard. That is the nature of this work. But I will not sit silently only to have my name on a plaque while discerning things happen in the background. I will not approve a major rail development behind closed doors, only to reject it in public. I will not disapprove contracts and then apologize behind the scenes to the recipients. I will not resort to fits of rage and vengeance simply because I didn't get my way. I'm not built that way. Recently, a couple of colleagues made a mistake. A single mistake ignited the social media firestorm that we all witnessed last meeting. It was 2 weeks ago now. Through the rumblings during my time away, I heard chatter about prosecuting the mistake, but the threat was being directed only at one person. There are 2 signatures on the check. He's referring to the check that bought the ambulances. It is my belief that the other person is now being blackmailed into submission. Blackmail is the lifeblood of the good old boy network, and it is moving in quickly. I don't believe there was malicious intent, as another councilman now wants to keep the ambulances for the future. The voters have clearly chosen to return to a city manager form of government. That is another reason why I was asked to come back. The last one didn't work out well and had to be removed. The interim manager who followed was controlled by council. I was specifically asked to help with the selection process so we do not repeat the same mistakes. We received over a dozen qualified candidates. As a group, we each picked 5. We even had to turn strong candidates away because the application deadline had passed. Yet, as I warned in my last address, a candidate appears to be emerging from the shadows, pre-selected, and we are now expected to let that person bypass the very process everyone else had to follow. This can happen, this can result in litigation while we have no city attorney. When a death happens, it is typically held at a cemetery. When the slow death of a city happens, it is celebrated at the local pizza joint. I pray that this will help those see through the noise created for the clicks and participate in the real governance of this community deserves.
Thank you for reading that, Mark.
Thank you for coming back.
I had comments on that, but I won't ask.
So, Mark and Renee both signed up for this agenda item. We pulled it, but we discussed it, so do you want to speak?
Yes.
Okay. Mark, to the president.
I wrote this before your letter was read, but it still applies. So, on June 11th, this is for you, obviously. Renee Marlin wrote it before 10/6/11. On June 11th, you submitted a resignation letter stating that this council had fallen into lawlessness, that's quote, and that there was, quote, troubling disregard for proper procedure and transparency, and that you could no longer, in good conscience, be a part of that. Those aren't minor disagreements. Those are serious accusations against this council and the city. So the citizens deserve an answer. What changed? You've given something. Did the lawlessness suddenly stop? Did transparency magically return? Were the public safety concerns and financial consequences you warned about somehow resolved in the last 8 months? Or were those statements never as serious as your resignation letter made them sound? Because if you truly believed every word that you wrote, then coming back now raises questions about your credibility. And if you didn't believe it, then it raises questions about why those accusations were made in the first place. There is one development that occurred after your resignation. The mayor announced hers. It is fair for citizens to wonder whether that has anything to do with your decision. After all, you and the mayor have appeared to be allies. Even the verbiage in your resignation letters was nearly exact. From the outside looking in, it almost seems as though the environment was intolerable when your ally was losing influence, as she is. But suddenly became acceptable once her departure was announced. If that's not the case, then I think we, public, the citizens, deserve a clear explanation of exactly what changed between June 11th and today. If this council was truly as reckless, lawless, dangerous as your resignation letter claimed, then coming back requires more than a change of heart. It requires an explanation, and I don't feel like the one you gave was sufficient. Thank you.
Mark, did you want to speak? I know you read his letter, but you signed up to speak.
Mark Merrill, 71 Mile Court. I had a personal heart-to-heart conversation with Alan regarding his resignation, and I asked him to think about it long and hard and really search for what he wanted to do for the city. I've sat where Karen's sitting right now. I've been a member of the council as a mayor. And I can tell you, I know that it's not easy for any of you to take comments or have discussions with people you disagree with or don't like. It's still the job you signed up for. You know, you're here to represent the people. And the fact is, I think Alan does a really good job of representing the people and looking at the facts and looking at all of the issues and trying to do what's in the best interest of the community, even if it's not in his personal best interest or what he thinks we should do. I would ask that all of you do that on every agenda item, every time. Understand what all of the facts are. Don't knee-jerk react. Do something for the community. Put the people first. That's all I've ever asked of anybody that sat in any political office. Do what you were put there to do. Represent the people. And Alan, personally, thank you for representing the people. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for putting your reputation on the line and being willing to take the criticism, the negative comments, and not expect any accolades for the things that go right. I appreciate your sacrifice. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to move on to number 11, discussion regarding city purchasing policy. This is not my agenda item, so
Make a motion to discuss.
I'll second.
So, we created a team to readdress what we had discussed before. Mr. William and I and Mr. Adams, me and Mr. William got together, we discussed some items, we passed it back to the city, you made your chop. Mr. William, do you have any discussion on this?
So I had addressed all of Adam's comments, but those are not included here, so I suggest we table this till July 2nd.
Copy, make a motion to table this till.
Move it to July 2nd.
You can
To
say-
move it to July 2nd.
I know.
Move it to July 2nd so we can have another week to work on it, another 2 weeks to work on it.
Copy, will do. Make a motion to move this to the July 2nd meeting.
I will first move to 7-2.
I'll second.
Wait for the second, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Number 12, discuss, consider act upon ordinance regulating expenditure of funds in excess of $5,000, including the requirement of advance authorization and notification to the public.
I'll make a motion to open this for discussion.
They're the same.
But I mean, it's, when I first started reading into this, and it says in excess of $5,000, we have to write a check to Alfred Services for the trash every month. And it exceeds $5,000. So are we going to keep it at 5,000? Or are we going to have certain stipulations? In other words, if it's something that's going to be normal procedures, paying utilities basically, are we going to exclude that?
Yeah, it's
Do we need to set up a
So
table
Alan,
of
there's
difference?
a draft here, it's got all the details in it, but as I said, it's worth massaging a little bit more, so. It's actually looks like 6,000 was the number we were talking about moving it to.
Okay.
The one-off purchases, not the run rate bills and things like that.
Yeah, once again, it's still a draft, so nothing's set in stone, but I definitely acknowledge your concern.
Yeah, I don't even know what we paid. What is your average check to Alfred anymore?
So, turns out, as you look at the checks that are spent for the disbursements from the city, the vast majority of them are under 6,000. Something like 90% of them are under 6,000, which means the normal day-to-day process is not going to be interrupted at all. And even, this doesn't even, so right now, the statute requires 2 signatures anyway. Deidre has to countersign every check. That's required, no matter if it's a penny. So this is just looking at more transparency for larger purchases so that more people are involved in the process and they know about it. And the bigger part of it is getting it published out once a month so the town knows what we're spending money on. It's not anything that gets in the way of making the town work and move
Yeah,
forward.
agreed. That's what my concern was. I didn't want to slow them down and try to track us down
No,
for it.
we definitely took that in consideration when we we're drafting this.
All right. I'm happy with that.
You want to continue this to a certain, to also?
Table it?
We can
To the next
move it to
July.
July 2nd.
Yeah, move it to, yeah, I had to say table. Yeah, July 2nd. I'll make a motion to move this to the July 2nd meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Wait, the first, have a second on favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Number 13, I have one speaker on this agenda item, but this is to discuss and consider act upon an ordinance repealing ordinance 2023-09-2101, cancellations, provisions of the meetings. Mark, do you want to come up and speak on this real quick?
Mark Merrill, 71 Mallard Court. My understanding of the law is that the state statute that this city operates under for a general law type A municipality, even under a city manager form of government, says that the mayor shall set the agenda and that cancellation of a properly noticed meeting is still a cancellation of a meeting. So the mayor calls the meeting, the mayor runs the meeting, the mayor can cancel a meeting. And my understanding is, since you don't have an attorney here representing the city, that those powers of the mayor cannot be withdrawn or in any way canceled by an ordinance of the city. You cannot strip the mayor's powers and duties vested in her by the state by an ordinance. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, discussion.
So this is another ordinance that Pat and Adam and I were working on, although I didn't see any comments from Adam on it, on this run, but Pat and I did spend quite a long time on it over the last 2 weeks. The goal is to ensure that state statutes are enshrined in the city ordinance and honored and followed, not to overturn any state statutes. It's really to reiterate the state statute so there's no confusion or misunderstandings about what the state allows and doesn't allow. There is one ordinance currently that has some confusing language, and the goal is to take that language out and replace it with something that's understandable.
So do like a red line on it to make it, like you said, more understandable?
Yes, and I guess we didn't get the draft in the package, so we can move this to July 2nd also, so everybody can get the draft.
There's a lot of tables. We're gonna have a hell of a fourth.
Well, no, for some reason it wasn't published.
Well, we're waiting on you to finish the review and send it to Deidre so she can distribute it, but
Can we move it to a further one than July 2nd?
Can. Do we have a lot going on July 2nd?
Well, we tabled one thing and then I don't know what July 2nd is going to look like.
We also had a discussion last time, Wayne had requested that we go back to a once a month meeting. I don't know if that's-
Yeah, but still
We
thinking
can't
about
do that yet.
Well, we can't do that until September.
It'll probably be
but I would-
September.
Yeah, I would
All the
like to get that
bids and
started.
everything is already scheduled out
Yeah,
for public hearing.
but we can get it on the agenda though to still talk about it, discuss, make actions.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it'll take very long. Once we get the draft distributed to everybody, get it packaged out to everyone, so it'd be nice if we get it out now so everybody can see it. And then,
Was it in the last agenda packet? This ordinance?
I don't
Yes.
think-
Yeah, it was in the last.
Had bids and quotes.
it had some,
But
we made
Oh,
some minor
okay.
typos,
Revised
changes,
it.
things like that, so I mean, it's not drastically different, it's 99% what it was in the old package.
Yeah, that's definitely my budget.
Let's just put it on the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second?
Make a motion to move that agenda item number 13 to the 2nd of July.
Pat would first to continue today, starting on 7/2.
Second.
We have a second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Number 14, we're pulling because I've rescinded my resignation, so there is no action item. And then number 15 is to discuss, consider, and act on determining agenda items to be placed on future city council agendas.
I think we successfully handled that.
Twice.
Well, I do have some questions, and Adam might be the one that wouldn't answer. I know we were still talking about some of the old stuff that we never got back on agenda, like the speed limit for neighborhood and north of
I think we're
289.
still working on that.
But I just haven't had any, we just haven't had any
Haven't updated.
updates. Yeah, so I don't know what the.
We're still researching it.
Yeah, so I know that originally he said it would
Okay.
probably take about 6 months, and I don't think we have any updates, but he heard you.
No, I don't know where to see, must be further back.
That's fine. As long as, like you said, as long as he's working on
We
it.
could put that on the next agenda.
Yeah,
Just
next-
touch it.
End of July.
So they reflect on his update.
Yeah, on his update and then.
Ordinance update.
That's probably the time that you'll see the fee ordinance update as well.
Oh, that's right, that's coming.
Which one?
Fee ordinance update.
Master?
We add, an update for Adam to, under his like, streets update, parks, trash, under his update to
Speed
talk
limit.
about the speed limits. Okay.
Yeah, where we're at on that. And then I don't know of any other things that we've asked or we didn't get accomplished on some meetings, either got canceled or, I don't know. Just make sure that all the citizens that they put in there, that they got taken to. I think the speed limit was the only one that I can remember.
Get an update on the attorney search.
Yeah.
Meeting, please.
There you go.
Yeah, and from the last meeting also, I had one item that we didn't actually discuss, but it was discuss, consider, and act on procedures for how we're going to handle moving to executive session. The issue that was last week, or last meeting was I was requesting that we vote on this, so I'd like to have that as an agenda item to discuss, consider, and act on setting the policy for the procedure for how we're going to go into executive session.
Anything else?
Yes. Is that one, the one that you sent me to go on the next week? Was it, we need to add that one as well?
Which one was that?
I don't know. There's one that you sent me in with I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
So we
Yeah,
got
but you wanted it on the next
so
one.
many things going on.
I just don't remember.
I'll go back and look, if we can catch the meeting after.
Okay.